right. Good Friday afternoon to you. Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of Teaching Crypto. We've got some breaking news. This is AZcrypto, MrFOMO. Please hit that like button, and most importantly, help us out as much as you can by hitting that subscribe button. Likes are appreciated, the bell notification, but most importantly, the subscribe button is greatly appreciated as we hopefully make our way towards 2,000 subs now. MrFOMO, we got some Voyager information. So some of it's okay, it's not so okay. Let's give people the information that they're looking for here. And, you know, some okay stuff, but there's some stuff here that I really don't like, and I want to get into it here. And I want to share some things with our viewers. So first of all, there's still 136 million left to be liquidated. If you are one of the people that did not withdraw their crypto, here's what you need to do. You need to immediately tonight or tomorrow morning get on the app. Yes, I have lost a little weight. Yeah, I'm going to do a off-topic show about how that's related to crypto and investing next week. Probably I'll drop that. But anyways, on Voyager, get on the app tonight or tomorrow if you are expecting a check from the wind down, and update your address. Why is that important? Well, if you read this on August 11th before midnight, you will run out of time to update your address. Now, this update is significant because later in this document, which was just dropped less than an hour ago, they talk about the app closing down. I can put two and two together. It looks like the app is closing down in August. So first thing, for those of you that did not withdraw your crypto and you are waiting for a check, what you need to do is get on the app, and there's a help center, and you ask for an address update. They will send you an email, ask you to take a picture of yourself with your driver's license and some type of bill, electric, water, gas, whatever it is. And then the next week, they will be able to update your address on the app. You need to do this before August 11th. Otherwise, they will send the check to the wrong area. So that's first, MrFOMO. That's the first.
Yeah, and that was the thing that hit me straight away when I started reading the Stretto doc, is that there's 136 million out there for people who didn't claim it on the app, right? Like, there's a check coming for you. There was a greedy part of me at first was like, ooh, that's another 7%. But that's not for me. That's for people who just didn't claim it on the app. It's going out to those people. So make sure your mailing address is correct. You want your hands on that money.
So if you just got your withdrawal in right before the deadline and it's still processing, you should get it back next week. That is the good news. All right. Got some not so good news, and I'm pissed about this, and I'm going to fight back. I called admin several times today. They did not get back to me. Just to take you behind the curtain here, I'm going to keep calling on Monday, maybe over the weekend, because I don't like some of this stuff. So MrFOMO, this is some of the stuff I really find unacceptable. They're going to close the app. We probably knew that was coming, right? Now, when they say for a limited amount of time, it appears to me that this is going to be August. Now, here is the problem. If I scroll down, the wind down debtors will not be issuing tax forms for creditors, and the wind down and their professionals will not be providing tax advice. I understand not providing tax advice, but tax forms not being issued is unacceptable, especially since the app is going down. They continue to talk about alternative ways to make our transaction history available. I would advise everyone to go on the app before August 11th, take snapshots of your transaction history, turn them into PDFs, and save them so that you can give them to a tax professional later, because many people took hits. So what it looks like here is when we lost a ton, whatever it is, whether it was a couple hundred or 1,000, however much you lost, and that when they turned your assets into USDC and only gave you back 35%, as of now, and this is against what they said earlier in a Twitter space that I was in, they are not giving tax documents. That is unacceptable, and there is no committee. So guess what? It's going to be up to people like me to call and complain. Now, I am in contact with someone, I can't give away who they are, that is fighting behind the scenes. I spoke with them briefly today, and they are not happy either. And they are working for the debtors behind the scenes, and they will push against this. This is, Mr. FOMO, unacceptable that they are not going to provide us tax documents for the 35% liquidation that they did.
And I don't understand the motivation behind that. It seems like a simple courtesy that you could do to the creditors after all that's happened. Excuse me. But the odd thing there to me was that they also wouldn't be offering tax advice. And to me, I was like, one, nobody asked for your advice. Two, who's taking advice from a bankrupt crypto company that loaned 3AC $650 million? It like that just seemed like this odd like dig at the creditors that didn't belong there. It just, nobody was asking for their advice. What we're asking for is the tax documents that will help us show the losses we took so that we can, offset these gains we're about to take into the bull market.
Yeah, so this is uncalled for. I would advise everyone that is involved in Voyager, get on the app, start taking snapshots of your transactions, okay? Take a snapshot of how much you got back and make sure you have some type of evidence of how much you put in, because a tax professional will be able to help you, not financial advice, but if they're worth their weight in gold, they will be able to help you. It seems like Paul Hage and Voyager administration is not going to help you. I wish I could say I was shocked. I was hoping in good faith that they would be at least give us these documents. There are special documents during bankruptcy that can be created, I've been told by several tax experts. Why they are not doing it, I do not know. Is it laziness? Is it fear of some type of court case brought against him? I do not know, but this is unacceptable. We will fight for you guys as much as we can. I'll make phone calls as much as I need to do here to fight for our customers and our loyal viewers. Now, I want to continue, right? Remember, a lot of you have been receiving phone calls and emails and regular old-fashioned mail from scammers because they got our information. They claim here, Mr. FOMO, that they are doing a full investigation and they have not uncovered the exact cause of what happened.
And they take these things very seriously. They said they've reported it to the authorities. They've informed the creditors.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I read this right. Maybe I was just reading through it too fast. They also allege that they've taken down some sites or attempted to take down sites. I would like to hear some specifics on that.
So
if you're going to go so far as to say, hey, we're not offering tax advice, seems that if you're taking down sites that you might also list some of those sites in there that you were at least attempting to take down, if not successful in taking down.
So the investigation is ongoing and there's no substantive updates to be shared at this time. Okay. Now, this is some other really important information. Some good news here. Some good news here. Mediation has been moved up from October to September. Now we finally know, okay, the mediator has gotten the information as of July 21st, 2023. They're going to start meeting in person in September. Is that September 1st? Is that September 30th? Unfortunately, they couldn't tell us in this document, but September. So beginning of football season, the real games, not the preseason.
No date for that, just like there's no date for the app closure, right? So
well,
there's several important specifics that were left out.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. FOMO, because I've been called out for that. I apologize. Do not expect the app to be open past mid-August, guys. Read between the lines. If they're telling you to get your documentation in and change your address before midnight, August 11th, do not expect the app to be open August 20th or 21st. I would be shocked if the app is open now in September. Reading through this and going through this, I'm going to say best case you have 2 months here, but I would say August is it.
And you would like to see them doing things like this, shutting things down, making sure that they're not spending money on unnecessary things, right? Well, my assumption is the app is getting little to no traffic, other than creditors looking for answers. And so it would make sense to shut it down that way. It's not, just to be cost efficient through this process.
Yeah.
But there's one thing one thing to me that you missed there, you breezed over a paragraph that said that they got 1.9 million back from Stephen Ehrlich.
Yeah, so
And
that's
that's to me, that's a celebration in and of itself. Now, I don't know why or how. They say it's through D&O settlement, but to me, 1.9 from Stephen Ehrlich, I'll take it.
I'll take it, but remember, 20 million is 1%. So the 1.9 doesn't make me feel great. It makes me feel a little bit better that Steve is 1.9 million less richer. By the way, I reached out to Steve. I asked for an apology. I opened the door for him to come on Teaching Crypto. No response, but I know from the algorithm, he read the MrFOMO. He actually read the direct message. He still has not blocked me. And so I can't confirm this, but I've heard from the grapevine that he's watched our show before. And he still is accepting direct messages from me on Twitter/X. So take that for what it's worth. Steve, if you are watching the show, it's never too late to apologize, Steve. You did a lot of harm to a lot of people, and an apology is not going to make things right, but you owe it to the people, Steve, no matter what.
It would do a lot more than this quiet 1.9 million did in a D&O settlement payment. I think it would go a long way, just for your own personal reputation, yourself moving forward, because I can guarantee you wherever he lands, whatever he attempts to do next, we're going to be on top of that and letting people know that he's there, and he's a black mark on their company and on their reputation.
And we are a small channel, but thanks to your help, guys, we're growing. Whatever project he attaches his name to, Teaching Crypto will make it known over and over again what he did to hurt everyone that's affiliated with this channel. We will never let him forget. And whoever employs him, we will never let them forget who they are employing. You better believe that. I make that guarantee. Now, MrFOMO, what they say here basically is they can't tell us a lot of information until the mediation is over. And here's my thing. Mediation normally takes a month. So let's pick a random date in September 15th, right? Middle of the month. That means the mediation will be over mid-October. If there is no solution, which is likely, unfortunately, that means there will be a trial in early 2024. So that means your next distribution, which we now know, and by the way, we now know based on reading this, read between the lines, they're shutting down the app. You are no longer going to be withdrawing crypto. The last crypto you got is it. So when you withdrew your crypto, that's going to be it. Moving forward, you are getting cash. So they will be liquidating any Bitcoin that they owe you, any USDC, any coins that were not labeled securities. You are now going to get as a check. So whoever you are, if you have changed addresses, and this applied to me at one point, since you got on Voyager, you need to go in before the 12th of August. Ask, I'm going to keep saying this, ask for a address change. They will contact you back. They will ask for you to take a selfie with your new driver's license, with your new address, and with some type of letter or bill to prove that you have this new address. And at that point, they will change the address on the app. Do it quickly, because I have a feeling after the show, a lot of people are going to do this. So whether you're waiting for a check or not, you need to do this, because here's the thing. When we did our distribution, it did not matter. But moving forward, let's say best case, they get a lot of that $445 million back in October, and they announced that in November, they're going to be giving us a check. You want that to go to the right address. That's really important. So we are not getting Bitcoin back. We are not getting USDC back. And so that it is what it is. It is going to hurt recovery, because as Bitcoin goes up, technically your recovery would go up. So that means basically if you had a ton of Bitcoin, like a lot of people we know, you get that check, you're going to have to put it in your bank immediately, and you're going to have to buy Bitcoin. Now, honestly, I'll tell you, the good and the bad here. By fall, I expect Bitcoin to be, if you watch the show normally, way over 30K. You can't do anything with that money now. It is what it is. And so,
and unfortunately, if this case's history has been is going to tell what's going to happen next. You can multiply any timeline they give you by about 3. So for that normal mediation to end in September, probably not. I can say that if we multiply that by 3, you can see December being the end of that mediation.
Well, but I don't.
And I know
mediation,
this is elementary math. I'm adding to this, but that's really what's been happening throughout this entire process. So don't get your hopes up, even though Bitcoin should be, and we both think that it should pump a little bit, at least a little bit here before the end of the year. I am not hopeful that that money from FTX Alameda is going to show up in my bank account, or even that that process is going to be completed by then. And so that's not even an egg that I'm counting in this coming up bull run. That's money that I'm going to get maybe even mid bull run, or
I would
around the halving event.
I would say plan on that in whatever we get back. Plan on that in 2024, because my guess, and I hope I'm dead wrong here, I'm just trying to be a realist here. My guess is that goes to trial and that does not get resolved in 2024. But who knows? Maybe FTX / Alameda is, because of all the stuff they have going on, is motivated to get a deal done. I know Voyager and Paul Hage should be. And maybe we have some type of resolution so we can get another check back. It'll have to be a check, no withdrawals this time. We can get another check before 2024. Okay, moving forward, now we're going to talk about 3 arrows. You know my feeling, Mr. FOMO. I do not expect that to happen anytime soon. They are.
I love how they mentioned that they are involved in the proceedings and that they're listed in the proceedings in the British Virgin Islands. I mean, as specific as they are in other parts of this document, for them to say, well, we're there and we're paying attention to what's going on, it doesn't seem very hopeful. And we've mentioned that we aren't very hopeful that they're going to get much back from 3AC, and that also if they're spending, whatever they're spending there should equal what we get back. And so at least 20 million to get 1%, right?
Yeah.
So they've got to get us a significant percentage of that money back to make it worth it to even show up there. And so I just
don't expect 20 million back. I'm just telling you guys.
And so why even get involved in the process? You're wasting money that's sitting right there for you to give back to the creditors.
Because remember, there's over 125 million left in wind down that could be liquidated in return.
Right.
Excuse me. So now that's also going to have to be a check.
If you spend that money only to return less than 20 million, then what's the point?
Well, they don't have our best interest in heart. Okay, now. Finally, the wind down debtors professionals are engaged in discussions with a variety of parties regarding the potential sale of certain assets from wind down debtors' estates. So that could be the app. I don't understand how they could sell the app when they're taking it down. What is it worth, really? And no one wants to buy the VGX token smart contract because they're afraid it might be labeled security. I just don't see, there's no mining involved like there is of Celsius. I do not see a ton. There are 2 things missing here. Read between the lines. There's no mention of going after third parties like they talked about before in terms of big names, right? They were never going to mention the names, but suing third parties, I don't see any of that here.
Right.
And 2, I don't see anything talking about customer clawback. So I guess that is a good thing. If for people that got out, they don't have to be worried about, but who knows? Things could change.
That's a good thing. But like you mentioned, there are some people who are responsible here. And I don't know about third parties, but this executive team, not just Stephen Ehrlich, but there are other people who were involved in this process from the beginning who, I mean, Stephen Ehrlich wasn't the only one soaking up millions from this team, right? And so there are still people involved in this in Voyager Digital, or who were involved with Voyager Digital, that I expect them to go after. And that's where I took the debtor estates. My understanding of that was that they are still going after some of those people and maybe some third parties as well, as far as debtor estates. So hopefully that's who that includes. But the non-specifics there kind of leaves you to, guess.
This has been going on for over a year. If you want to go after someone, you have to have your ducks in a row and you have to do it. I mean, Celsius has tried to do clawbacks. FTX has tried to do clawbacks. Voyager has not. And so do I have any confidence that they're going to pull it off? I do not. These clawbacks for big names and big companies like Market Rebellion or Mark Cuban or Dallas Mavericks, or the soccer, the Female Soccer Association. These take months and months to go to court in. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong again. I don't see it. So best case for me, I keep saying this, Mr. FOMO, one more time. Best case, after Almeida FTX is over, whether it's October, November, December, or January, February, March 2024, shut this thing down, mail us a check, and finish it off.
Yes, I would agree with that too. Now, there are some people out there who are probably asking, now, why are we going after third party? Why are we going after Mark Cuban? Why are we going after the Dallas Mavericks? And to me, these are also parties that benefited from Voyager, benefited from what Voyager was doing, benefited from some of the lies that Voyager told to the customers. People went to Mavericks games for a chance to go out and throw that half court shot and get some money in their pocket. So there are benefits there that they also got that we didn't. And we also lost 70% or 60 some odd percent of our portfolios so far. So it may seem unfair to go after those third parties to some of us. And there is a little twinge of guilt every time we talk about that. But they benefited from this thing that took money from customers, right? And didn't return it the way that they said that they would.
So I just want to go over some brief things, and we're going to bid you guys goodbye for the weekend. Really quickly, if you need to change your address, get on the app, start that process right away. Looks like you only have a few weeks left to do that here. Number two, mediation is going to be in September. No guarantee it's actually going to be resolved in September. Okay. But if you do need to get on the app, please do so as soon as possible. Now, for our show, thank you for coming. We've got great things coming up. We've had a bunch of new people join us. Thank you so much. We appreciate every single one of you. Please hit that like button. If you have not done so, please hit that subscribe button. We got super thanks open if you care to do that. And we will be pushing content. So if you're just coming back today for Voyager news, give us a try. We have put things up here. We're kind of trying to expand as much as we can, and we greatly appreciate your support. So guys, you have a great weekend. We might have some stuff dropping this weekend, and just believe if there's anything Voyager, we will bring it to you. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. You guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you later.
See you.